Friends, do you know the reptiles are egg-laying animals that have a tough skin covered in scales? They live on land and in water. There are four main groups of reptiles: the tortoise family, snakes and lizards, the crocodile family, and tortoises. The tortoise family all have a shell over their bodies. Nearly all reptiles lay eggs, which hatch into miniature versions of their parents. A few, such as this slow worm, however, give birth to live young. Reptiles are meat eaters with the exception of tortoises, which move too slowly to catch fast moving prey. Lizards such as this gecko can eat half their own weight in insects in one night. Reptiles have scales which can control how much water they lose through their skin. This means they can live in dry places. They are cold-blooded, however, so rely on the climate to keep their temperature in check. Reptile skin is covered with scales made of keratin like your nails. The shell of tortoise has lots of large hard scales on it. Lizard scales have stretchy skin between them. These scales are strengthened in between by bony plates in relation with crocodile. Snakes, the skin on snakes has overlapping scales for extra protection. Tortoises are the only survivors of a group of reptiles that lived with the dinosaurs millions of years ago. Today they live on a group of islands of New Zealand. The reptiles of today are the last living relatives of dinosaurs and look very similar to their ancient ancestors. You can see similarities between the Tyrannosaurus rex and this lizard. And the question is remaining, what is the longest snake in the world? And the answer is, the reticulated python can reach lengths of 30 meters. You can spot tortoises or turtles because they carry their homes on their backs. These domes called shells are attached to their bodies. The main difference between these two reptiles is that tortoises live on land and turtles live in water. Shells are hard to protect the body. They come in many shapes. Star tortoise, African red-necked turtle, red-footed tortoise are the typical examples of tortoises. Tortoises walk very slowly because of their heavy shells. They have short, stocky legs that support their weight. They mainly eat plants and eat nearly all day. Turtles live underwater. They sometimes poke their heads out to breathe, but they can also breathe through the skin. Some can stay under the surface for weeks. Tortoise shells are made of bone. Most turtle and tortoise shells are completely round like ping pong balls. Some are hard, but others are quite soft to touch. The babies peck their ways out of the eggs. When a tortoise feels threatened, it quickly pulls its legs and head under its shell and keeps very still. The shell is too hard for any animal to eat. Turtles return to land to lay eggs, sometimes thousands of them on one beach. When they hatch, the babies all make a rush for the sea where they will live. The biggest tortoises in the world live on the Galapagos Island off the coast of South America. They can be 1.8 meter long. That's as long as a man is tall. And the question is, do tortoises have teeth? And the answer is no. Instead, they have razor-sharp jaws that can snip twigs and leaves. There are over 40,000 different types of lizard living in every habitat, from deserts to rainforests. They are particularly fond of hot places. Lizards have scaly bodies and 4 feet that each have 5 fingers. As lizards grow, they shed their skin about once a month. The slow worm is not a worm. It is a lizard. It looks like a snake, but unlike snakes, it has eyelids and a pointed tongue, whereas snakes' tongues are forked. Most geckos prefer to be active at night, but this Madagascar day gecko likes the daylight. It lives in forests and eats small insects and fruit. Lizards can't fly, but some can glide from tree to tree. These lizards have skin around its body that opens out like a parachute. Most lizards lay eggs on the ground. Lizards lay their eggs among leaves on the ground or in sandy holes. The eggs are soft and leathery, easier to break out of. Hatching after 2 or 3 weeks, the lizards do that. The baby lizards look like their parents. When they want to go faster, some lizards, like the crested water dragon, run on their hind legs. The basilisk, the lizard above, can even run for short distances across the surface of the water, its wide feet pushing it along at high speed. Lizards are extremely agile. They can run very fast. Some climb trees. Some can even walk on water. Geckos have special toe pads covered in millions of tiny hair-like spikes. These spikes can grip any surface, so geckos are able to climb up walls and even along ceilings. And the question remains, which is the fastest lizard on earth? And the answer is, the racer runner can run at 29 km per hour. That's faster than most people can run. Lizards are incredibly hunting and show their defense, so they can get away from danger quickly. They also use their speed to catch small animals for food. When the freed lizard feels threatened, it doesn't run away. Instead, it opens its umbrella-like frill around its neck, rocks its body, and hisses loudly. This is often enough to scare the enemy away. The loose skin on the freed lizard is normally folded flat. When it opens out, the lizard looks 4 times bigger. Some lizards are able to detach part of their tail if it is grabbed. Often the tail will carry on weighing when it has broken off, which can distract the enemy. Lizards are meat eaters. Some eat small animals. Some can eat animals bigger than themselves. This chameleon flicks out its enormous sticky tongue and catches insects on the tip. The Komodo dragon is the largest of all lizards. It is so powerful it can catch and kill animals bigger than itself. It has a long forked tongue that it uses to test the air and search out dead animals. It lives in Indonesia. The Gila monster has a touch of poison. It is one of only 2 poisonous lizards. When it has caught a victim, it chews the poison into them to kill them. And the question remains, what is unusual about the chameleon eyes? And the answer is, chameleons can move their eyes in different directions. Slithering snakes. They can survive anywhere, from cold climates to the hot deserts and rainforests of the world. You can even find them underwater. Snakes have no arms and no legs. Instead, they have a bendy body that wriggles. Some slither in a straight line. Others, like this viper, wiggle in an S shape. Snakes can't see or hear very well, but they can smell much better than you or me. They use their forked tongues to smell and taste the air around them. Snakes can be divided into 4 different groups or families. The family is the biggest at the 4, that is the typical snakes. Then the vipers have poisonous fangs and lives in the hot places. Constrictors kill their prey by squeezing them to death, and the poisonous snakes, they are some of the most deadly creatures alive. Snakes' body shapes are sometimes adapted to where they live. Ground snakes have heavy bodies to slide through soil, while sea snakes have oar-like tails for swimming. Snakes lay eggs, but most do not make good parents. The python coils itself around its eggs to keep them warm, but most snakes leave them, so the young must fend for themselves. Snakes can't control their body temperature very well, so those that live in cold climates often have a long sleep or hibernation. During the winter, they can survive for many months without eating. Many snakes live in trees, coiling themselves around the branches. They tend to have long tails to help them climb and balance. And the question remains, what is the smallest snake? And the answer is the thread snake. It is not much bigger than a worm. Snakes can attack and defend. All snakes eat animals, including smaller snakes, but other animals also find snakes a tasty meal, so they have to be experts at defending themselves as well as hunting for food. Snakes have various ways to protect themselves. Some snakes, such as this forest pit viper, have long fangs containing deadly poison or venom. When threatened, they bite. Cobras are among the most dangerous snakes on earth. Their poison can easily kill humans. The spitting cobra spits poison at its victims, which can permanently blind them. Snakes have many other defenses that protect them from enemies. The grass snake lies with its mouth open, pretending to be dead. Camouflage, the viper's coloring camouflage it among the leaves, and the rattlesnake shakes its tail, making a loud, frightening noise. Snakes creep up on their victims, then lunge at them. Incredibly quickly, they kill larger victims before they eat them, either by poisoning or crushing them. Snakes eat pretty much anything that moves, from ants, snails to goats and crocodiles. The egg-eating snake can swallow eggs bigger than its head. It then squeezes the insides out and vomits up the shell. Constrictors like the anaconda wrap themselves around their victims and squeeze them until they can't breathe. The snake will eat the large alligator whole. Crocodiles and alligators. Lurking beneath the water are the monsters of the reptile world. Meet the wild, ferocious crocodilian family. Crocodilians are large, meat-eating reptiles that live in water, but sometimes hunt on land as well. They all have very powerful shutting jaws. Crocodiles and alligators live in water and are very good swimmers. Their eyes and nostrils are on top of their head so that they can see, breathe, and hunt with the rest of their bodies underwater. Crocodilians lead fairly lazy lives. During the morning and evening, they lie on banks, basking in the sun with their mouths open. This helps them to warm up or cool down. They spend the night in the water. There are three types of crocodilians: gharials, alligators, and crocodiles. Gharials are a long, thin snout. Alligators has a shorter, broader snout and lives in the Americas. Crocodiles, unlike the alligator, it has teeth showing when its mouth is closed. Although crocodilians have many teeth, they cannot chew. They shake and tear meat. The crocodilian family make very good parents. Males attract females by blowing and blowing bubbles. The female lays her eggs near the water and guards them fiercely. The female stays with the eggs until they hatch into tiny versions of their parents. Often the mother will then pop the babies into her mouth and carry them to the safety of the water. Crocodilians are some of the world's great meat eaters. Often, like the crocodile, they wait at the water's edge for an animal to take a drink. Then they attack, grabbing it with their massive jaws. They can kill animals bigger than themselves. And the question remains, how big can crocodiles grow? And the answer is crocodiles can grow to a massive 6 meter, that as long as a large car. Thanks for watching.